What's up, collectors? Kirk here, aka the Geek Effect, your host for this year's ultimate celebration of the action figure community. It's that time again where we reflect on the incredible figures we picked up throughout this year and celebrate this amazing hobby. Welcome to Figure Rewind 2024. So this year I asked over 40 amazing creators and collectors from around the community to join me in sharing our favorite figures of 2024. So throughout this video you'll see a variety of lines ranging from Marvel, DC, Star Wars, indie brands, and maybe even a few extras along the way. Now before we see everyone else's picks, as your host, I've got to share my favorite figure of 2024. There were a lot of figures I unboxed this year, but there were 3 that needed to make it into this video, starting with the Mafex Wolverine. Now while the Mafex Wolverine figure is simply a reissue for 2024, I still think that this figure deserves a spot on my list because it's a figure I truly enjoyed once I added it to my collection this year. This thing is huge for me because it's the first import quality Wolverine I've ever owned, and honestly, this thing is perfect. The comic style colors, the sharp claws, everything about it just screams classic Wolverine, plus you get a few accessories to work with this figure, and the articulation has that import level quality which is great for a character like this. The poses you can get with this figure are truly amazing. Now Spider-Man action figures are something that release consistently each year, allowing us to have a large variety to choose from, and if one didn't make it on this list, I'd be pretty surprised. So the next figure I want to spotlight is the amazing Yamaguchi Spider-Man 2.0, which is also another reissue. If you love dynamic posing and heavily stylized figures, this is certainly the way to go. The articulation is absolutely insane, allowing you to hit any type of Spider-Man pose you can think of. And the accessories are just so easy to use and a lot of fun, making it one of the best Spider-Man figures out there. But as great as these action figures are, there's one that blew me away this year, and it's a figure unlike anything else in my collection. My #1 favorite figure of the year is Unparalleled Universe's Odious. This figure is something truly special, and not just because it's the first Kickstarter I ever backed, though that's definitely part of it. From the moment I saw the campaign, I could tell that this was more than just a figure. It's a passion project, and you can feel that in every little detail. The design is absolutely unique. Odious has this grittiest, almost mysterious vibe that sets him apart from anything else in my collection, and the accessories are outstanding. We're talking multiple hands, a weapon, and even soft goods that just elevate the entire package. Everything feels thoughtfully crafted, showing that it was made by a collector for collectors, even down to the packaging. So a huge congratulations to Wade and his team at Unparalleled Universe on its release this year. It was truly something I was looking forward to, and so glad that I could feature it in this year's Rewind. Now those are my picks of this year, but the Figure Rewind isn't just about me. Let's hear from the creators and collectors from around the community, seeing what their favorite figures are this year.
The Geek Effect fam, friendly neighborhood Spoon here, and it is time for me to introduce to you what my figure of the year is, and it is this guy, Hot Toys' 1/6 scale figure of Peter Parker in the black suit from Insomniac Games' Marvel's Spider-Man 2. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm something of a webhead myself, and for years now, Hot Toys has been banging out stellar figures for Insomniac's Spidey games, and this one is no exception. The execution of the suit is phenomenal. It's glistening, alien textured, it's kinda gross looking. They nailed it. He comes with a bunch of accessories, hands, webbing, a massive symbiote blast, web wings, a display stand, and spider arms that Hot Toys took the liberty of adding symbiote accents to. Is not entirely accurate, but I'm not mad at it. As for posability, the thin suit material combined with the great articulation allows for some dope dynamic posing. This figure is absolutely badass and my figure of the year. Thank you, Kirk, for the invite to join the 2024 Figure Rewind. I have been Spoon. I love you, stay spicy, and I'll see you real soon.
Hey everyone, I am Marvelous Stop Motions here on the Geek Effect to talk about my favorite figures of 2024. I have gotten a lot of figures this year, and I just have to say that it's a three-way tie between the Mafex Mark 50, the Mafex upgraded suit from No Way Home, and the SHF Hulk. The upgraded suit from No Way Home may just be my favorite rendition of the Tom Holland suit, and the SHF Avengers Assemble Hulk really just nails who the Hulk is as a character, and the most underrated figure of all 3 of them, I would argue, is the Mafex Mark 50 with how much accessories you'll get from this one figure. Mafex literally included every single accessory that appeared in the movie, which is insane, except for a head sculpt, oddly enough.
It's Kevin here from Toying Around. I'm going to give you one of my top favorite figures of the year. I haven't finalized my list yet, but this is one that's in the mix. Not maybe on a lot of people's list, but this is the Marvel Legends Deluxe Odin the All-Father. For Marvel Legends, I'm always fascinated with characters from mythology, but if you look at this is, it's got some nice teal blues maybe, metallic blues on here. It's got gold. It's got tons of different texture. Look on the chest armor, on the arms here, the different intricate patterns on the crotch piece. He's got horn knees, soft goods cloak, the little fur scarf on here. I mean, come on, man. You got this really cool headpiece, super fabulous. You have the option to switch it to this one, right? You've got a staff. Staff is cool. You've got his sword. You've got swappable hands. You've got his two crows, Goofus and Gallant, I believe their names are. And it's one of the, I think it's a really slept on release for this year because there's so many good releases from Marvel Legends this year, but this is gonna be in my top 10 for sure. Let's hope Marvel can do a comic Heimdall that is just as stunning as this, you know, equally intricate in detailing with accessories and weapons. Just really go crazy with his armor. Thank you, Kirk, for doing this every year. I hope you continue making these videos. It's a lot of fun to get the community together.
Hey guys, MCU Collector here to bring you my favorite figure of 2024. This one's going to be a little bit of a different one. It's not MCU based. This is the Sentinel Fighting Armor Cyclops. Just look at how beautiful this thing is. I absolutely love the blue and gold. These things have a lot of articulation. There's some die cast, some plastic parts. These things are just absolutely incredible. And I feel like people are sleeping on the Sentinel Fighting Armor. So this is a line that I'm really looking to build up in 2025. So make sure to check out the Sentinel Fighting Armor Cyclops.
What's up, everyone? This is Caplives here with my figure rewind for 2024. And my figure for this year is a figure that pleasantly surprised me based off some iffy promo images, and that is none other than the Metacom Mafex comic book Captain America. I love this figure, man. Like I said, promo images weren't that great, but once you get him in hand, he moves really well, which is what I want from a Mafex figure. His colors pop. You could do classic stuff with him, like World War II photography. You could do more modern stuff with him, like Avengers and teaming up with Falcon. He looks great with Legends. Perfect with Legends. He's pretty tall for a Mafex figure, so he's going to scale well. And just a great figure, great accessories. The only thing that he could have had was a saluting hand, but I took some of my favorite photos of the year with him, and man, what a great figure.
Kirk, congratulations on the big 4-0. 40 years of the Geek Effect, longest running show on YouTube, all the classic episodes that we see these past 40 years, and I can't wait for another 40 more, buddy. Congratulations on the 40. And for my figure of the year, it had to go to the Mafex Daredevil. This is possibly the best Mafex figure of all time, and it just so happened to release this year. It's sleek, it's stylish, it's a perfect representation of Daredevil, and it's my 2024 figure of the year. And you, sir, are the YouTuber of the last 40 years, and to the next 40. See you later, pal.
What's good, everyone? My name's Insane Figures. You may know me off of TikTok or Instagram. I'm so grateful to be here. I'm super stoked. Thank you, Geek Effect, for allowing me to be on this. We're gonna get right into it. My favorite figure of 2024 is the Marvel Legends Peter Parker from the Across the Spider-Verse Wave 2. I think that this is a completely slept on figure. I think that the articulation's there. I think that the sculpt's there. I think everything about this figure is just great. I've been posing it for this past week and I just can't put it down. I've been bringing it with me everywhere. I think that if you have the means, you see it in your Targets, wherever you go to shop for figures, I think that you definitely should pick it up. I think it's a great option for people that don't want to buy the import because maybe it's a little bit out of their price range. I think everyone should go and get it. Maybe it's underwhelming for some people. It definitely isn't for me. But yeah, thank you, Geek Effect, for allowing me to be on this year's 2024 figure rewind. Hey, here's to 2025, everyone.
Hey everybody, it's Daniel, aka Boondocks01 from TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, wherever you may know me from. I am here for the third and last rewind. Kirk, I'm not sure what you're thinking with that. So we're gonna have some talks about that in the future, buddy, because man, you've done an amazing job with figure rewinds these last 2 years. It's sad to see if this third one is the last one. So 2024 was kind of a crazy year. I didn't buy a lot of figures this year because I graduated from college, moved, got a big boy job, so I had to kind of put the toys on the back burners for a little bit. But the figures that I really wanted, I was able to make sure to budget for and get because I really wanted them for my collection. So nonetheless, there's a lot of cool figures in the year, and this one I am choosing for the figure rewind is one that I didn't plan on getting. I saw it and I was like, oh, it's cool. I don't necessarily need it. It's going to be the Hot Toys Deadpool from Deadpool and Wolverine. And I love Deadpool and Wolverine. It is my favorite movie of the year. I remember when this figure was shown that I was like, oh, it's cool, but I only collect Spider-Man Hot Toys. I don't necessarily need to like branch out to other properties. I love this figure. It's cool. Hot Toys are not necessarily known to pose, is what people say. That's not the case at all for this one. This figure poses, but not. Oh, I just dropped Baby Knife down there. I have to get that after. But the material is so cool. It's such an upgrade from the first Deadpools, from what I've heard from other Hot Toys collectors. And I just want to give a big shout out to Wade from the Unparalleled Universe, because Odious is fucking awesome.
Yo, what's up, everyone? I'm Dan Yoon on the Hasbro Marvel Legends team. I'm here on the Geek Effect to talk about a figure from 2024 that has been one of my highlights of the year. The figure that I want to really talk about is a 2-pack, actually, of Crystal and Lockjaw. And one of the big reasons why I wanted to talk about it is because I haven't shouted it out enough. And this figure, honestly, has been really important for me this year. Every time I see this figure specifically, I think about my old dog, Ninja. And Ninja was part of our family, and she was the best dog ever. And we lost her this year in 2024, and it was really, really gut-wrenching and heartbreaking. But every time I saw this figure, I thought about Ninja, and I hope that people have some sort of figure that reminds them of their loved ones. It doesn't have to be a loved one; it can just be an awesome moment, And every time I saw Lockjaw here, it just reminded me of Ninja, and it just reminded me anytime that I was like angry at work or stressed at work that it's just a toy. And that Crystal and this Lockjaw figure has been one of the highlights of my year. And I'm wishing everybody a happy holidays, Merry Christmas. Hope you guys have a safe and beautiful end to 2024, and hopefully there's even more blessings for everyone in 2025. So God bless, and peace out.
Hey everyone, it's Jonathan from Nostalgia Unboxed, and I'm here to let you know one of my favorite figures of this year. Now, technically, I think this thing is a re-release, but this Michael Jordan from Mafex is absolutely incredible, and I cannot express it enough. So I'll show you. It's one of the most surprising figures that I've unboxed this year. Between the articulation, the soft goods, and the detail, it's honestly just a masterpiece. Anyway, I can't use words right, so I'm just gonna move on.
Hey, Ryan Ting here. It's time for the Geek Effect 2024 Action Figure Rewind, and it was a big year for Transformers 40th anniversary. Clearly got multiple Optimus Primes this year. My favorite, without a doubt, has to be the Missing Link with trailer. This figure is so cool. It is super nostalgic. It has tons of detail, and just the way that the team added all this articulation that didn't exist in 1984, but still within that same iconic frame, is just top notch. Everything about this guy I love. Trailer as well. I got two so I could open one safely and keep one in the package, so I had to give it up to the Transformers team on many amazing Optimuses this year. This one just happens to be my favorite. Hope everyone had a great 2024, and we'll see you in 2025.
Hey, what's up, Geek Effect? Thanks so much for having me. I am Shartimus Prime, and I got some really cool figures this year. One of my favorite figures of 2024 was the Transformers Studios Series 86 Optimus Prime. I love this figure so damn much. They got the likeness down. He looks freaking cool as hell. Really great articulation. I wish he had a little bit more movement in the elbows, but I'm still able to get him into this awesome firing pose. And the trailer is spectacular. You can store all the accessories in here. We have awesome blast effects that come with the figure. This thing is absolutely incredible. I don't know at this very moment or not whether it's my absolute favorite figure of the year, but it's definitely in the top 3.
Hi guys, my name is Axo, aka Golusaro, and for the Geek Effect, the figure that I choose for 2024 is the Tansen Arctoys Custom Future Trunks, aka the Dream. The reason why I picked this figure is because this is an example of how third-party figures are just doing an excellent job of creating action figures or characters from Dragon Ball that probably Bandai won't ever do. And for those reasons, this is my pick for the 2024 Geek Effects Figure Rewind.
Lago here. I want to thank Kirk from the Geek Effect for inviting me on another year. It's been a crazy year, a lot of really cool figures that came out, and it's really difficult to just pick one. And honestly, it changes from day to day, but right now, my number one pick is the Vegeta SH Figuarts 24,000 power level figure.
As you can see, my favorite character in Dragon Ball is Vegeta. If there's any Vegeta coming out, I'm gonna get it. And this particular Vegeta with the Saiyan armor and big shoulder pads and all that is the way I got introduced to Vegeta back in the Ocean dub, when they would repeat the same videos or same episodes over and over, and it stuck with me. What's really cool about this, at the first SHF that I got was the Saiyan Saga armor Vegeta. So this is kind of a callback to that, and you can do a mod with it as well if you want to get that skirt piece to it. They just did such a great job with the expressions, the over dramatic shoulder pads, the wider body up top. They made him shorter like he's supposed to be. Obviously it's not perfect, but it's definitely the figure of the year for me. I love this Vegeta. It's just everything I wanted, and you could do a lot with it.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Poncheezy here, coming at you this year from seemingly every other YouTube channel except my own.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
I'm here today to talk about one of my favorite figures of the year, and just like last year, it's another Dragon Ball banger, baby. Of course, I am talking about the Dragon Ball Daima Mini Goku. This is one of my favorite figures of the year, and probably one of my favorite figures in the entire line. Everything about this specific figure is just a marvel of SHF technology, dude. Just cramming all of that awesome articulation, sculpt, finesse, just everything you love about the SHF Dragon Ball line into an extremely tiny and compact package such as this mini Daima Goku is unbelievable. I could go on for hours about this figure, but the most important thing you need to know is that this figure encompasses everything that I love about the Dragon Ball SHF line. And not only is this my favorite figure of the year, but it gave way to my favorite custom, probably of all time. Big shout out to Sun West Kong for these Tori bot heads, dude. Putting it on the Dragon Ball Daima body was just music, man. Like, I actually printed these right before the Daima Goku came out, and I had them on the GT Goku and a couple of other figures, but as soon as I put it on the Dragon Ball Daima body, I knew it was a match made in heaven, dude. So once again, best custom of the year, only made possible by the best figure of the year. Catch you later. Love you. Bye.
Look at the size of this thing. This is the SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Z King Cold figure. This is my figure of the year. This is, of course, E-Revive94 on the figure rewind. Should have did that in reverse, but anyways, here he is. I'm doing this vlog style because I want to show you the other one I have, which is on the throne. Fantastic. I had to buy it twice. I know it's a sickness for sure, but this figure is just fantastic. It really is. And if you're any fan of Dragon Ball Z, you would know how long we've needed this King Cold. Now, this figure, something draws me to this character because he's not a big significant character, and I think I explained this in my video review too, but he is Frieza's father, so he does have some significance in the universe of Dragon Ball Z for sure, but he just doesn't play a big part. I wish we could get like a King Cold movie or like a backstory of him, you know, an episode where there's flashbacks or something like that, more of it, or just, you know, straight up back in time when he was kind of ruling. But this figure just brings everything you would want. It's a lot of fan service with this. You got Trunks' sword here, and it's a little overscaled because they're trying to match the scale of the figure. So if you give it to Trunks, it's going to be way too big. But in his hand, it looks natural, obviously. It looks pretty good. You see that. Yeah, man, with the cape on and everything, you can see the tail is pretty sturdy. I'm holding it by the tail, and it's not articulating or rotating, I should say. But this is my figure of the year. What's yours? Let me know.
What's going on? This is Cheney180 from the Toy Migos, and I am very honored and thankful for Kirk inviting me back So I didn't make anybody mad the last 2 years, and I really appreciate that. To talk about one of my favorite figures of the year this year. And one of my favorite figures of the year, as I was doing some of my top 10 stuff as well, was the Bandai SH Figuarts Cyborg Frieza from Dragon Ball Z. I can't gush enough about this thing. I love the fact that they made this a figure. I had wanted Cyborg Frieza for a very, very long time, and I'm super happy that they brought him into figure form. And I can't keep gushing about this figure, even after, I've had it for a while in hand now. But still, I pull it off the shelf every once in a while and still tinker with it. The fact that he came with like the sliced in half accessory and everything is super duper killer. Absolutely love this thing. Definitely one of my favorite figures of the year, for sure. Hands down for 2024. SH Figuarts Cyborg Frieza is really it's super high up there on my list.
What the heck is up, you guys? It's your boy Ace, aka Animated Heroes, here, back with the Geek Effect for another year of Action Figure Rewind, where we once again take a look at our favorite figure from 2024. Now, you guys already know this year was loaded with action figures, but out of everything that all these companies produced, there was one figure that stood out to me, and that is this bad boy right here. It is none other than the SH Figuarts Yu Yu Hakusho Yusuke Urameshi. As you guys know, Yu Yu Hakusho has always had a special place in my heart, and that's exactly why this guy made my #1 figure. It comes with everything that it needs to. He looks like he walked right out of the anime, and it's a great start to an anime that I will forever cherish. So big shout out to Kirk for allowing me to do this, man. I truly appreciate you and what you do. Salute from Texas, my brother.
Hey, it's Vincent with Vasco Toys here on the Geek Effect to share my favorite figures of 2024. There were so many awesome things that came out this year, but I really have to say that for me, Haya Toys came out of nowhere with the Rambo line. Honestly, before these two came out, I didn't even know who Haya Toys was. But once I saw they were going to give my hero Sylvester Stallone the 6-inch action figure treatment, I was all in. That said, if I had to pick just one, I've got to go with the original. For starters, the likeness is absolutely spot on. You'd be hard pressed to find better head sculpts of Sylvester Stallone than this in any scale. And they did a pretty good job with the accessories too. He comes with most of the things that you would need to recreate scenes from First Blood. Speaking of which, I love this thing so much that I recreated the gorge scene from that movie on my channel. If you're a Rambo fan, this is a must-have. Huge shout out to Kirk for inviting me to do this. Everyone enjoy the rest of the video.
Hello there, it is I, Boogie with Toys here, and I'm going to be sharing a special video with you on courtesy of the Geek Effect. Shout out to you, Kirk. Feels like it was yesterday whenever I was on the Rewind. Thank you for inviting me to be such a great part of this awesome recap of 2024 of each year of these amazing figures. So today I'm going to be showing y'all the SH Figuarts Kazuya Mishima style, baby. This figure is incredible with the design calling for fully layered clothing with the crocodile, you know what I'm saying, suit, tuxedo. The articulation and the plastic is crazy. They executed this figure perfectly in my opinion. It's a little bit better than their Jin. If you like Tekken, please support this line. SH Figuarts is king right now, baby. King is coming next. Shout out to you.
Hey everyone, I'm Hero HQ Hobby Hour, and when it comes to my figure of the year, it's gotta be Cammy from Jada Toys. It's a pretty simple figure at first glance, but the articulation is really good in my opinion. It allows for a pretty wide range of dynamic poses that can really bring the character to life. I just personally wish that there was some toe articulation. I think that would have really put this figure over the edge for me. Also, whoever sculpted this figure really did a good job capturing Cammy's iconic look, and I just personally really like it. I will admit though, I am a bit biased since Cammy has always been one of my favorite characters from Street Fighter, but even with that personal connection, I think this figure really stands out because Jada Toys really nailed this figure. It's a great example of how a figure doesn't need to be extremely detailed to be good. Sometimes less is more, and this Cammy perfectly proves that. A huge thank you to Kirk for inviting me to this year's Figure Rewind. I'm truly grateful for the opportunity, and with that, I'll catch you later.
What is going on, everybody? Articulated Ninja here. And shout out to Kirk over at the Geek Effect for including me in this year's Figure Rewind. And I gotta say, man, there were a lot of figures released this year, but my favorite, or at least one of my favorites, top 5, is gonna have to go to this Storm Collectibles Shao Kahn. This guy right here, I like everything about him. He also comes with a throne, but even if you don't have the throne, the figure by itself is really amazing. And if you include the throne, which is easily the biggest throne I think to ever be released, for any action figure, it makes him even 10 times more amazing. So once again, shout out to Kirk over at the Geek Effect. Man, I appreciate you, brother. This is one of my favorites of 2024.
When I win, Earthrealm is mine.
What up guys, it's Weebu here. First, shout out to the Geek Effect for hosting this event. And my figure of the year might just get this video flagged. My bad, Kirk. Alright, there you go. Starman 1/6 scale female Agent B. That's what you call Cammy when you didn't purchase the license. I chose her simply because it has basically everything you would expect from an action figure. Silicone body with crazy mobility, rooted hair, wired braids, rolling eyeballs, and soft goods. Huh? No, I meant the fabric clothing. Yeah. Even some water slide stickers, which was a good touch. On top of that, the price is pretty reasonable for an unlicensed figure, so I can't really complain about that. Y'all can also check out the videos on my channel if you want to learn more. And thanks to Kirk for having me. Happy New Year's, everyone.
It's Wednesday, my dudes, except it's not. It's actually my video for the Geek Effect for my figure of the year. And first off, huge shout out to the Geek Effect for inviting me back on. Guess I didn't screw it up enough badly last year, so let me try harder this year. Kidding. I'm really excited to be back here, and huge shout out, seriously, thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Geek Effect for inviting me back. I'm really excited to share review this figure, and I know what you're thinking. He's gonna pick a turtle this year, and I'm not. I'm not picking a turtle. I'm actually going with the Mezco Dick Tracy vs. Flat Top 2-pack. Seems like a random choice for me, I know. Hear me out. Always a fan of the Dick Tracy comic books, big fan of the movies, and just, I mean, from a toy perspective, Mezco knocked this out of the park. The accessories, the tailoring on the soft goods, the movement, which you've come to expect from Mezco, absolutely incredible. But I will say this, one of the reasons why this made my top figure of the year is a very personal reason. I got to sit down with my dad during Thanksgiving and show this figure to him, and it was just an incredible moment because he is not a toy guy, and I am, and it was just a really cool moment to have with him, and that is something that I am going to cherish forever. So for that reason, amongst many other reasons as to why this figure is absolutely incredible, Dick Tracy vs. Flat Top 2-pack. Oh, Jack Kirby fainted because he was so excited and disappointed it wasn't him. Anyway, for many reasons, that is why Dick Tracy vs. Flat Top from Mezco is my figure of the year. So hope you guys had a great year. Really excited for 2025. And again, huge shout out to the Geek Effect. And if you're watching this and you haven't hit the subscribe and like button, go do that. Go do that for the Geek Effect because he needs that. He loves that. And you should do that too. Happy holidays, my dudes, and see you next year.
What's up, guys? I'm Nico of Artman Customs, and I'm here on the Geek Effect to share my favorite figure of 2024, which has to be the Mezco Casey Jones. This figure looks amazing, he poses incredibly well, and he has a boatload of accessories. I usually bounce between the golf club or the aluminum baseball bat, but you have quite an array of weapons and hands for it. This was a figure that I had tried to acquire at SCCC. I was unsuccessful like many people, but thanks to the homie Toy Hose, I was able to get one, and he hasn't left a 20-foot radius of me since I've acquired them. I'm constantly playing with this figure, constantly posing them, and for those reasons, he has to be my favorite figure of 2024.
Hello everyone, my name is Des Collects. First and foremost, I want to give a big thanks to Kirk for inviting me back for this year's 2024 Rewind. 2024 was yet another wonderful year of collecting, and I am so excited to give you guys my favorite figure of the year once again. I really thought that I would have a harder time trying to decide which figure I was going to use for the Rewind this year. The Revoltech Arkham Knight was an amazing figure, but there was a lot of QC. And the Mafex Daredevil, that's probably my biggest honorable mention. That figure is a 10 out of 10. I wouldn't change anything about it. I think that's a perfect figure. But I feel like there was one set that really crushed the competition. For me, that was the Mezco Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle 4-pack. The sculpt work, the paint, the detail, it's all there. They didn't miss a beat with one turtle. Each turtle has its own like shade of green going on with it. I thought that was really cool. They tried to really minimize the reuse. Obviously, there's going to be reuse in a set like this, but when you have each turtle in hand, it's really hard to tell. Like, you can't really tell which parts were reused except for like the hands and feet. And I believe that each of their necks are different sizes, and that makes a big difference as well. One thing that we all know that Mezco is not strong at is articulation. Some figures are more articulated than others, but I feel like in this case, they really did their big one. I mean, on the elbows and the knees, that's pretty much the only thing that gives you any kind of hindrance. When I was posing Leonardo, I literally had 0 issues hitting any pose I wanted. I think the biggest issue for articulation here is the ankles. The ankles are a bit weak. They could have given us a bit more range, but again, this is Mezco, so that's to be expected. Again, I could sit here and talk about this set for hours, but I'm not going to hold you up any longer. If you have the chance to pick this up, do yourself a favor and pick it up. Just spin the bread, pick it up. I promise you, you will not regret it. Again, I'm going to give a big shout out to Kirk. Thank you again for having me on this year's Rewind, and hopefully this will not be your last. Thank you guys.
Hey chefs, I'm Jack, and I'm happy to be here to be talking about my favourite figure of this year, although maybe not that happy. In here is the Mezco Ninja Turtles. This is Finley Donatello, the best Ninja Turtle. But this set is magical. In a group setting, they look amazing. Individually, they look amazing. Their accessories, guess what? They're amazing. Their posability, also guess what? Kind of bad, kind of average. They've got nice wind slashing effects. They've got amazing soft goods, color, paint, sculpt. Oh my god! If this figure isn't on anyone else's list, it's because they're broke. It's because they're broke and they don't have it.
Hey, what's up everyone? It's No Tune, 1/3 of the Toys That is part of the Toy Pick Community YouTube channel. Thank you, Geek Effect, for inviting me back on so I can talk about my favorite figures of 2024. I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm going to talk about Mezco's TMNT, their set, the first one that was released earlier this year. And these figures did not disappoint. They had great articulation, great accessories, and absolutely nailed the characteristics of each turtle. And for me, I spent the most time playing with this set. It just sparked so much creativity.
What's going on, everybody? You already know who it is. I'm Kid Bash Customs. My real name is Anthony. I want to give a big shout out to Kirk for inviting me to the 2024 Action Figure Rewind, and I'm going to show you my favorite figure from this year. I absolutely love this Warhammer line from Joy Toy. These figures are incredible to me. I love the details, the sculpt, the paint, the articulation too. For such a small figure, they articulate very well. And I love the lore. I love overpowered characters. I love people who can just tank things and keep going, and that's pretty much what these are. These are like walking tanks. I think they're stronger than tanks too, because if you've seen Secret Level, one of these dudes runs through a car, so that's insane. But I love the lore. I love how deep it is, and I think these figures are great. I think if you don't have them, you should definitely get one. I wasn't expecting to like this line as much as I do, but I think it's great, honestly. I think everybody should at least get one. But yeah, that's been my 2 favorite figures of 2024.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Brock the Collector here, coming back to you with my entry into Geek Effect's 2024 Figure of the Year. And I'm not gonna lie, guys, it's been very hard for me to pick, but I think my Figure of the Year may very well be this Clone Wars Mace Windu from the Star Wars Black Series Clones of the Republic 2-pack. This year we will again be taking it into the Star Wars universe. Last year I had my boy, my favorite Jedi, Luke Skywalker, on last year's list for 2023. 2024, I think I'm feeling this Mace Windu, man. This Mace Windu, I remember I had, when I was a kid, a younger child, I had the Clone Wars animated version, and they have made this Clone Wars version with the gauntlets in the Black Series scale, in line with all of these other beautiful Black Series figures. It may not be the newest figure with the newest tooling, but it's certainly one of my favorites. So that's gonna be my pick for this year. Thank you, Geek Effect, for letting me participate. Always remember to be the best, and I'll catch you all next time. Happy holidays.
Hi, I'm Yoko, and I'm here on the Geek Effect to show you one of my favorite pickups of the year. Since my HasLab Ghost isn't here yet, my favorite pickup of the year is going to be another spaceship, the D23 exclusive Star Tours Starspeeder 3000. The whole experience of picking it up at the show and getting it home really adds to it, but this thing is just cool. It has an LCD screen showing actual video from the park's ride, panels and doors that open, seats with adorable seat belts, an awesome light-up display, and all the sound effects. But the best thing they did was give us carded and loose versions of Captain Rex. This should really become standard practice. So thanks for checking out my spaceship, my favorite item of the year so far.
Oh, hey, didn't see you there. My name's Eric from the Adventures in Collecting podcast, and we are here to help celebrate the Geek Effects Figure Rewind. So Kirk wanted me to tell you a little bit about one of my favorite releases of the year, and no, it's not this puppy that just arrived. Even though the Ghost is super cool, we are going to flash back all the way to January of this year with the Bandai Tamashii Nations Godzilla -1 SH Monster Arts. It has been almost a year since I've owned this figure, and it is still one of my favorite releases of the year. Godzilla had a massive 2023 and a massive 2024, celebrating his 70th anniversary, and this SH Monster Arts perfectly captures the Academy Award-winning Godzilla film, and looking forward to what's next. Here's to 2025.
Hey heroes, Josh here from Panels to Pixels, and I'm thrilled to be here on the Geek Effect to talk about an action figure, or actually 3 action figures, that seemingly came out of nowhere to become my favourite figures of 2024. Now, I've talked before about how I was born slightly too late for the original Turtle Mania, and slightly too early for the 2003 Ninja Turtles revival, so I was right in that pocket generation there where we had Biker Mice and Street Sharks and things like that. So it was kind of on a total whim that I pre-ordered these Biker Mice figures from Nacelle, just because I was happy to see some representation for us mid-90s kids. Nacelle is a relatively new company, I didn't know what to expect, and this is just one of those rare toy buying experiences where it not only meets your expectations, but exceeds every expectation I had for these. I don't see enough people talking about these figures. They're full of detail, you get loads of accessories, and the thing that really surprised me is that they have these kind of like import style joints, which are just so buttery smooth, so satisfying to pose around and take photos of, or, you know, just play with them. I've got Throttle here, who is kind of the de facto leader, and yeah, he just looks absolutely awesome. And like I say, as someone who was just getting into toys in the mid-90s, it's so nice to see that kind of 30-year cycle has reached my generation. In this last year, we've had Batman Forever toys, we've had Street Sharks, we've had Biker Mice from Mars, and I'm all here for it. So thanks, Kurt, for having me on, and have a great 2025.
What's going on, everyone? This is Dwayne Shoots Toys, and I'm here on the Geek Effect to share one of my favorite action figures of 2024, Rash from the Battletoads. As someone who grew up playing the original video game on the Nintendo Entertainment System, I was really excited to get my hands on this figure, and I was definitely not disappointed. It's a well-made piece with plenty of detail and enough articulation points to create a wide variety of poses. The box includes multiple sets of hands, as well as some giant oversized parts that can be used to recreate the over-the-top action found in the video games. The figure is made by a company called Premium DNA, and I highly recommend it to all of the Battletoads fans out there. Thanks again to Kirk from the Geek Effect, and I wish you all the very best in the upcoming year.
What's going on, guys? It's Cleo Thomas, and I'm live right here on the Geek Effect, getting ready to tell you guys my favorite figure of 2024, which is our Thrill Joy Pix figure, Blue, the Chase NYCC edition. Being a part owner in the company of Thrill Joy, I'm so excited for the future, getting a chance to have a toy line out there for collectors just like me who love the rarity, who love the hunts, who love to find the Chase edition, if anything. Really, really excited for 2025 because we have some great collaborations on the way. Also, sneak peek. There's a Cleo Thomas edition figure. Be on the lookout for that. Yeah, man, it's inspired me to want to figure out how to make my own. And what we've done at Thrill Joy, not only is this thing amazing when it comes to displayability. You could hang this, you could stack this, you can keep it in this case if you wanted to. It also comes with a really, really cool holographic card. So we really scratched both of the surfaces when it comes to what collectors absolutely love and need. And like I mentioned, I'm really, really excited for 2025 when it comes to Thrill Joy, but to put one at the top of my list for my favorite figure of 2024, right here live on the Geek Effect, it's this baby right here.
Dan Larson of Secret Galaxy here to tell you about one of my favorite action figures of 2024. This is Arachagore from Four Horsemen Studios' Mythic Legions. Technically a 7-inch action figure, but standing roughly 10 inches tall, towering over other figures in the line, and not for nothing, but also outweighing them. It's a big blue dragon guy with a giant sword that has a removable flaming effect, a movable jaw, movable tail, soft goods fur trunks, detachable armor that is interchangeable with other figures in the line that are this size, like Scourge, the exact same figure, but in green. The paint is gorgeous, the sculpt is ridiculously detailed, the articulation is good enough for a figure this size with this much going on. He's fierce, he's sharp. He's so sharp that it can actually hurt to handle it. And if you're willing to risk injury to pose a figure, that's when you know it's true love. Mythic Legions is one of my favorite action figure lines right now, and this blue dragon man is unlike anything else in my collection, except the exact same figure in green.
What's up, guys? Thanks, Kirk, for inviting me once again. I greatly appreciate it. This is that time of year, and it's always hard to choose. But for me, again, so many different lines that we collect, so many different types of figures, whether it be import or domestic. I had to choose Savage Crucible. Savage Crucible has been this big surprise this year, and I'm so happy that we finally got them. But my favorite one was the Royal Guard. This is incredible. The way that it's painted, it's sculpted. The sculpt is insane, especially how the paint is as well. So articulates incredibly nicely. If you don't have one, try one. It is probably one of the best figures you'll ever have. So thank you again, guys. See you later.
This year, I bring you the Four Horsemen, Frankenstein, and Ghost of Jacob Marley. These things are utterly ridiculous in every way between paint, sculpt, articulation, and of course accessories. Four Horsemen knocked it out of the park with these guys. So there you go, Kirk. I gotta be honest with you. These things are fantastic. I was not expecting to like them as much as I did. They were a last minute entry for me. I was gonna do a completely different figure, but getting these on my hands, I could not help but throw them on there. They're fantastic in every way, and I can't recommend them enough. So yeah, these are Zach Toys' 2024 Figure Rewind of the Year.
Hi guys, my name is Sydney McKenna from Sydney M. Cardoso here with The Geek Effect. Now, picking my favorite figure for 2024 is nearly impossible. However, I can break that down to two. From Four Horsemen Studios, there was a surprise drop. Introducing Bastet and Anubis from the Figure Obscura line. I would have never imagined owning action figures of Egyptian gods, but leave it to Four Horsemen Studios to deliver exactly that. The packaging is top-notch. From its magnetic clasps to hard cardboard and detachable backdrop you can use with your figures. Included is a booklet describing the background of the figures, as well as beautiful artwork from Nate Barge. In my personal opinion, this figure is a 10 out of 10. And the true reason why I couldn't just pick one is because you cannot have one without the other. 2024 has been an incredible year for action figures, and I cannot wait to see what 2025 holds in store.
Hello everyone, my name is Kyle Wadiga, and I am happy today to bring to you my action figure of the year for this year's Action Figure Rewind. I am so excited to be able to talk to you about my favorite figure of the year because I got to work on it. I realize maybe that's a little bit, self-glorifying, whatever, I get to work on toys. I love toys. I love talking about toys. I got to work on a really cool one this year. This year, my favorite figure of the year is the Godzilla -1 charging variant from Super 7. Look at this thing. It's crazy. It's got these huge blue spikes which glow in the dark, by the way. They're extended. They're bigger than the normal spikes. Because in the movie, you ever seen the movie? It's amazing. It's a great movie. You should go see it. He charges up and all of his little spikes start popping out, boop, 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 and then he blasts his huge, amazing atomic breath. It's crazy, it's great, I love it. It's such a memorable scene, and being able to work on an action figure like this for a movie that I love so much was so cool. And Godzilla's been a big part of my artistic journey as a toy designer, even as a person, really. And so being able to work on an official Godzilla action figure of a Godzilla movie that's in theaters that happened, that people got to see, that, you know, won the Academy Award for Best Special Effects. Amazing. First Godzilla Academy Award win ever in his huge 70-year history. Amazing, incredible. And I got to work on his action figures. Look at this guy, he's awesome. Godzilla -1 charging variant from Super 7, my action figure of the year. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you have a happy holiday, and hope everyone else has an awesome action figure rewind.
Hey kids, I'm Trevor 16 Shooter. Thanks to Kirk for reaching out to me and allowing me to share one of my favorite figures from 2024. There have been a lot of them. I'm still working on my top 10 list, but among them are Fisher-Rice, Cosmic Legions from Four Horsemen, the Norseman from Frazetta Girls, Frankenstein's Creature from the Four Horsemen figure Obscura line, In Art Aragorn, beautiful figure, and I'm loving Fresh Monkey Fiction's Operation Monster Force a lot. But one of the figures that has been sitting on my desk and I've been playing with a lot is this guy right here, and this is the Skeleton Legion Builder 2. It was kind of a surprise drop earlier this year from the Four Horsemen. It's just a lot of fun to play with. It's got some great movement on it. You can really get it in some deep poses. You can put some soft goods on it and use his pointy finger to become the Grim Reaper there for you. You can put some old wings on them from the old sets, or new wings if you want, the new wings that they came out with, and some hats and all sorts of stuff on here to make it your own. It's just an incredible figure. It looks cool. You'll be able to get them next year in the Graveyard 4-pack, just a slightly different color than this. But yeah, that's one of my favorite figures from 2024. Skeleton Legion Builder 2 from Four Horsemen Studios. See ya.
Thank you so much for having me back on the Figure Rewind for 2024. It is a great honor to be asked to be involved. Thank you so much. And I am going to remove all suspense from my pick this year because I'm going with the big man, the big O. It is Odious from fellow toy tuber Unparalleled Universe. And there's a lot of reasons why. Number one, as an action figure himself, he's rocking 5 different head sculpts created by Kagar. Amazing, such personality, such detail. Then you have these awesome soft goods from Rebel 10 Studios. When I say that this has been a community effort, it has. It's so amazing that one of us was able to pursue his dream and create his own toy. Not only does he have the head sculpts, not only does he have the amazing soft goods, but he also has a million different hands. So as a toy photographer, your options are covered. Shelf display, your options are covered. He's just a blast to pose. He has all of the articulation you would want if you're a fan of Mafex or Revoltech figures. Odious just puts a smile on my face every single time I pick him up.
Hello there, gang. This is David from Displaying Model Behavior, the Earth's mightiest video podcast. And I'm going to tell you what my action figure of the year for 2024 was, or at least what one of my favorite action figures of 2024 was. You don't think I'm going to give away the good stuff on someone else's show, do you? Davey, don't play that. But I will show you a little something kind of special, and that is Cabot Stone from Loose Collector. Easily one of my favorite figures of 2024. And I know what a lot of y'all are thinking. You're like, yeah, but Dave, this figure hasn't even come out yet. What kind of sorcery and time travel is this? Well, when you're Model Behavior, you know a guy who knows a guy. So this is easily one of my favorite figures of 2024. Beautiful sculpting. It's a property that is so 90s. It's wearing a backwards baseball cap and saying that everything's radical, and I love it so much for that. Loose Collector knocked this bad boy out of the park. The rest of you are gonna find that out firsthand next year. You're gonna find that out. I almost made a perfect video without having to do any edits. I'm not gonna edit this either. Gang, thank you so much for watching. This figure's fantastic. I hope you all got some awesome action figures in 2024, and 2025 will bring you a whole bunch more. And until next time, keep displaying model behavior.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? My name is Gav the Collector on TikTok and Instagram. I hope y'all are having an amazing Christmas, and it is an honor to be back for this year's Figure Rewind of 2024. As you can see, my pick for this year was none other than Mezco Junkyard Joe. Now, Full disclosure, I did get this figure like 2 days ago at the time of this recording, so I might be a little bit biased, but there's plenty of reasons why I love this figure. Mainly stuck with me because of the fact that it's from a comic book I really enjoyed and never expected to have a figure from, especially not from Mezco. And in typical Mezco fashion, they obviously over-delivered in every department, especially with the details they added on the suit. You get additional effect pieces, all the little trinkets that made appearances in the comics, like his chocolate bar, cigarettes, even a set of embossed dog tags. You obviously get a plethora of weapons that can all fit onto the figure, which is so cool. He even has robotic sculpting underneath the clothes, but overall he's just a work of art and a stunning piece to photograph or even just stare at. I think it really shows the amount of effort that Mezco pours into all their releases, even for characters that aren't so well known. And him being an Image Comics release opens up a ton of new opportunities for future figures, which I'd be super excited for. But that about wraps it up for me. Happy holidays. Huge thank you to Kirk for having me back this year, and I hope to see you next time.
Hey guys, I'm Adam Van Wickler, aka Playing With Myself, and I'm here on the Geek Effect's 3rd annual Figure Rewind to share one of my favorite action figures of 2024, Coaster Toys Abyss Knight. This is a third-party action figure of Death from the second Darksiders video game. I love highly articulated action figures, but I'm also super into comics and anime. Back in the 90s, Joe Mad was an artist on the X-Men books that just blew me away with his heavily anime-influenced art style. He pretty much dipped out of comics and then focused on designing video games like this Darksiders series. Being a huge fan of his style, I had to pick this figure up, and it does not disappoint. The articulation is freaking awesome, and he comes with some wicked accessories, and he's even got some soft goods here that blend in really well with the rest of the figure. So, that's why Coaster Toys Abyss Knight is one of my favorite action figures of 2024.
Yo soy Plastadicto y Homeless Joe is my favorite figure for 2024. This gorgeous Homeless comes packed with everything you saw here and is made by Damn Toys with Cold Dogs. It's a collaboration. There are original characters made for the Dead gas station line, and as you see, the stitching and the clothing are on point. Also the weathering and the details on the figure are great. That's why I love him so much. He has so much character on the design, on the clothing, on the weathering, everything. Like it's like a lot of layers of clothing and everything looks good. Also the patches, everything is on point, the pockets, the face. I love this head and all the sculpt and the details and the expression are on point. It comes with a lot of stuff that makes you wanna be a homeless like this guy and have everything in hand, because it comes packed with a lot of great stuff. So definitely he's very well prepared for the end of the world, as this line is like a post-apocalyptic junkyard world, like everybody is made out of metal or something like that, and this guy is like the wise guy that knows everything because he's well prepared to roam around this world. I love this figure. I think I have seen nothing like it before or after this one. And even in a line like this where every figure has like its own character and design and everything is awesome, this one is my favorite by far.
Hi everyone, Ricardo here, aka The Broken Bat, here on the Geek Effect to share with all of you one of my favorite figures of 2024, and it's none other than this guy right here, the Abyss Knight, made by Coaster Toys and Demon Flame Studio. If you were wondering, yeah, this is the Horseman of Death from the Darksiders video game franchise. 1/12 scale, tons of extra accessories, and if you were one of the lucky ones to pre-order him, we even got the Abyss Fangs accessory. This guy is the perfect balance between hard and soft goods. What's great about him, besides having articulated eyes, is the incredible range of articulation that he has. Scales amazingly with all the 1/12 figures that you may have around in your collection, and truly is my favorite pick of 2024. My wish for 2025 is getting the rest of his brothers. Thanks for watching guys, and see you next year.
What's going on, y'all? Sonny from the Sunny channel. These are my hands, this is my face. This is my figure of the year for 2024. So there was a company called We Art Doings. They created a Wasteland series, very limited run on the figures. They created a plumber and they created a Flash Boy. Now I love these figures both equally, but tie goes to the runner. So we'll go with this Sonic inspired figure right here. it is dope to have a 1/12 scale Sonic figure, soft goods on them as well. Articulation is on point. This came out by way of Sunny Studio, no relation, spelled different. But just the fact that I can have a fully articulated Sonic the Hedgehog inspired figure, and the fact that it looks like it comes from an apocalyptic wasteland, I really love the look of it. They are limited runs, so that made me like it a little bit more because I'm a little bit more special than y'all for having it. But shout out to the Geek Effect for doing the video. Enjoy the rest of 2024 if there's any rest of it left, and we'll see y'all next year in 2025.
Hello everyone, my name is Christopher Scala and I'm here on the Geek Effect to show you guys my top pick for 2024. A lot of great figures came out this year, a lot that I tried to pick up, literally as many as I could, but these two figures in particular are the ones that I think stand out above the rest. Now, I picked these up very early in the year actually, I can't even really remember, but as soon as I got them, I started a brand new social media account called The Nameless Knights, and it saw just a lot of success, which was something I was really happy about because hopefully I get to work on these two as like a series is what I really want to do for the rest of 2025. So hopefully you guys see more of them. But these two, we got the Valiant Knight with a different knight's head on there and the Red Soldier from Mythic Legions. Just these two are crazy, man. As soon as I figured out that knight figures existed, I really wanted them. Of course, like where else am I even gonna find knight toys at? Don't even have any, but yeah, I mean, I don't even really have to explain it, honestly. You guys are looking at the same thing I am. Just so cool. Yeah, those are my pick for 2024. Hopefully I'll be back in 2025 to show you guys whatever I picked up during the year. But thank you very much, Kirk, for having me on here. It was great meeting you and everybody else at Comic-Con. Hopefully we all get to link up again. But yeah, thank you very much and have a great year, everybody. Adios.
Hey everyone, I'm Brandon, better known as the Lethal Collector, and I'm back on Figure Rewind to share one of my favorite figures of the year. While I'm saving my number one pick for my top 10 video, I think I had to spotlight one of my absolute favorite releases this year, the Mafex Nightfall Bane. This figure is everything you want in a Bane. You know, he comes with extra hands, an alternate faceplate, and his sheer size is, I think, a total game changer for Metacom. You know, it marks like a huge milestone for their production and opens the door for bigger characters like the Hulk or, you know, the recently announced Doomsday. And what's even more impressive is, I think, the articulation. You know, for a figure this big, it's absolutely outstanding is all I can say. It's mesmerizing to just look at, but like the posing possibilities this guy has are absolutely endless. But yeah, this guy is a must-have centerpiece for any Batman Rogue collection, and I couldn't recommend him more. And also a huge shout out to Kirk for having me on the Figure Rewind for the very last time. The series has been such a refreshing and fun way to bring the community together, and I'm honored to be a part of it every step of the way.
Hey, what's happening, YouTubers? It's Pack Photos here on the Geek Effect to give one of my favorite figures of 2024, aka my Figure Rewind. Now, much like in years past, I've been one of the few that actually picked the McFarlane Toys figure, and this year is no different. Well, kind of. Now, I said kind of because my Figure Rewind, or my favorite figures this year, is this Batman Beyond set from DC Direct via McFarlane Toys. So these weren't exactly originally sculpted and molded by McFarlane Toys. These are from DC Direct / DC Collectibles. So there are a lot of reasons why this is one of my favorite figures this year. And one of the main reasons is just because being a fan of Batman Beyond growing up, to finally get figures that I might have missed out on back then, to get them now, and not just me, but newer collectors as well. It's awesome to see. And when speaking about the figures themselves, while they are older molds, yes, they don't move well as modern action figures. Aesthetically, they have good shelf presence, and they look like they're pulled straight from the animated series. So while yes, I kind of went against the grain and picked multiple figures, don't get mad at me. So there you have it, one of my favorite figures, or some of my favorite figures of 2024. And before I sign out, I do want to say thank you to the Geek Effect for allowing me to share my Figure Rewind of 2024. Third year in a row, I appreciate it, man. And like I mentioned last year, it's awesome to see the growth and the evolution of your content, man. Over the last couple years, you've been kicking ass. Here's to the road to 100K subscribers, and here's to next year's Figure Rewind of 2025. Peace out, y'all.
Hey, it's your boy Dark Jokes in here for 2024 Rewind. Thanks again to the Geek Effect for having me on here. I'm here to talk about my favorite figure of 2024. It was a hard choice to narrow down, but I feel like this figure really kind of,
how can I say, impressed me this year. Really did. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But it might surprise you knowing some of the tastes that I have. So, you know what? Instead of me sitting here talking about it, let me just go ahead and show you. So my top figure of 2024 is Mafek's Bane. This is a figure that I can get behind, a DC figure that made me feel like, man, there's no limit with Mafex at this point with them. They're knocking it out of the park with these figures. This is a pose that I want to get off with a Bane. This is something that has articulation. Not built accessory wise, but articulation still gives it to him. He could break the bat if he needs to.
And that's a wrap on Figure Rewind 2024. A massive thanks to all the incredible collectors and creators in the community who joined me in sharing our favorite figures of this year and making this rewind super special. Join us in the comments below sharing your favorite figures of 2024, and as always, thank you for watching, supporting, and being a part of this incredible journey. I'll see you all next year with more action figure goodness. Peace.